I use the imagery of cyber carriers parked off the coast and in the Gulf of Mexico. I use that imagery on purpose because if there were carriers off our coast, it would be the federal government's responsibility to do something about that. We wouldn't expect the state of California to get their militia and start sending boats out to look at nation states and others that were coming in. We'd expect the federal government to do that. And I use that imagery to say, I think we're at that level now. I think we're at that level where the attacks are so sophisticated and they're so violent. I mean, they're destroying records. They're really going after healthcare in a strong way. I think it's more than just, I mean, this, again, to a certain extent, I get to say my opinion, but you have to work in that space. So I understand you maybe not being as strong with your opinions as I would be in this case. But it feels to me like the federal government needs to step up almost with like a military action to protect our health systems and to have that level of preparedness and funding and sophistication in order to protect our health systems. Because it's one thing to look at a large health system with 50 hospitals and a $200 million IT budget and say, yeah, they could probably figure out a way to protect themselves. But it's a completely different thing to look at a federally qualified health clinic or some of the smaller health systems and say, hey, why can't you come up with enough budget to protect yourself against this crime syndicate that's trying to get in? Well, they just don't have that kind of money.
I mean, there's nothing you've said that I don't disagree with. I mean, if you want me to get all spun up, I mean, people who know me pretty well, though, I can get pretty passionate. So, I mean, it doesn't take that much for me to get all riled up. I don't disagree with anything you said. In fact, I love your analogy or your imagery about like the pirates offshore, and that, usually it would be like the US Navy or something would go after them. I mean, so we need some sort of like cyber, rescue plan. I may have to like gnaw on that one. I like where you're going with that.